Social Science, Grade 8, Block 13, The Indian Constitution, LP4, Key Features and Their Significance by teacher Shikha. Students will be able to analyze how a country's history determines the kind of constitution it adopts and what the key features signify. Children, we have already learned about why we need a constitution and the ways in which the Indian constitution has provisions to check the misuse of power and domination of minorities, both of which leads to injustice among people. Students may struggle to understand how a country's history determines the kind of constitution a country adopts for itself and what the key features of our constitution signify. Children, what did we learn about Indian Constitution and what are some questions you still have about it? Let's discuss. The Constitution of India sets down the rules of governing the country and also contains the ideals which we Indians support and follow. The Indian Constitution has provisions on fundamental rights and a federal structure to check the misuse of power and to protect the interest of the minorities. It also separates the power of the executive, legislature and judiciary so that each functions independently but while keeping a check on the power of the other. What were the major concerns of our constitution makers? When the Indian constitution was being drafted, the partition of India was likely to happen and many princely states such as Hyderabad and Junagadh were unsure about whether they would want to be part of India or remain independent states. People who belonged to the so-called lower caste were discriminated against by those from the so-called upper caste. Thus, the socio-economic conditions were also bad for people. As India has diverse languages and religions, the members of the Constituent Assembly had to think of a constitution that would keep people united, protect the interest of all, irrespective of caste, community, gender, or religion, and improve their social economic conditions. Now, the question is, why did we choose parliamentary democracy as a form of government? So, after years of being controlled by the British, it is felt that independent India needed a democratic government where everyone would enjoy an equal right to vote to choose their leaders to a parliament. The elected leaders of the parliament would govern the country as representatives of people and be accountable to the people, which was not the case during British rule. It was also felt that everyone also be given equal rights to contest elections. The constitution makers felt that this system of government would build a democratic culture in the country across caste, religion, or gender. Question: why was it important to have a federal structure in India with two sets of government, one for the centers and other for the states? Let's discuss this very important point. Children, prior to independence, the country was controlled by the British government, both of the central and state levels. The interests of the Indians or the weaker section of the society were largely ignored. After independence, our constitution makers decided to give powers to the states to make their own decisions, while decisions which concerned the whole country, such as defense, were to be taken by the center. Even within states, the ruler and the urban areas were given their own sets of local governments to address their needs. Another important question: why was it important to give fundamental rights to people? Children, during British rule, Indians' freedom and some rights were restricted to only certain people. For example, only the rich and the educated had the right to vote. More than 200 years of British rule made Indians suspicious of any misuse of power by the government. Therefore, the constitution makers included a set of fundamental rights in the constitution, allowing different types of freedom to check the arbitrary use of power by the government and its leaders. Children, please read the content book again and again and mark your difficult lines or words, statements. Wherever you face any problem, we will discuss it again during online class. Watch this video again and again as this is very important, as I have discussed about many important questions from this block. Have a great day ahead, children. Thank you. Bye-bye.